Hello and welcome to Gardening at 58 North. In this video I'm going to be sowing tree seeds. So what I've done is I've sent off for some tree seeds from the Woodland Trust. So the Woodland Trust is a charity here in the UK which looks after the forest and the trees. What it does is it encourages people to plant more trees in their own land, but also the Woodland Trust also has several other sites that it owns and looks after the trees and is always championing that we should have more trees and woodland in our environment and also increase the biodiversity that we've got. So I've sent off these seeds, came in a nice little packet. Quite informative actually. It's got quite a lot of information about what the seeds are and stuff, and here are the seeds themselves. They've actually already germinated, so I won't be potting these into a seed and cutting compost. I'll actually be putting this into my own mixture. You can see the white roots there, so I've already got quite a few. It's also come with a handy guide so I can see what seeds they are. I'll probably need a magnifying glass possibly because some of these are quite small, but it's very handy that they've told me what the seeds look like, as otherwise I wouldn't be able to tell. So I'm going to pot these up. As I say, I've used my own mix of compost. The mix I've gone for is a bit of my own top soil from the garden. The reason I've used the topsoil from the garden is because a lot of trees form an association with mycorrhizal fungi, and there should be some mycorrhizal fungi in the soil around here because we've got a few trees. I've taken this from an area where there were some older trees already growing, so I'm using this because hopefully the mycorrhizal fungi will form an association with the seedling quite early on. That will give it a boost later on in life, and also from the word go really, as soon as the fungus and the tree kind of meld together. There's also a bit of compost added to this, and there's just a little bit of perlite which was already in the mix anyway from the compost mix. So what I'm going to carefully do is I've got my little dibber. I've filled up this tray already so I can keep them all together, all the different trees. I'm just going to make a little hole in each one so I can have enough space to put in the seedling. There we are. Now I'm going to have to be very careful with this because you can see the roots are quite long already. Came in the post with roots this long, you see especially that one there. So it'll be very easy for me to snap these roots, so I'm going to have to be incredibly careful when I'm opening this, not to damage the roots at all and not to snap them. So that's it open. I'm just going to carefully put it onto a clean surface so I can see what I'm working with here. Just being careful of the roots. So that seems to be all the ones out of the packet. And I'll just move the camera now so you can see the roots much more easily. So there you are, you can see them quite clearly there. I'm not going to leave these out in the air for too long because if I leave them out in the air they'll quickly dry out and die. So I'm going to quickly get these planted up. So you can see, for example, I'm doing this in the polytunnel as well. It's very humid today, so I can leave them out in the open a bit longer than I would normally, but as I say, generally I wouldn't have them out for too long. So there's a nice big seed here. Hopefully you can see that one alright. And I think, looking at my description, that's either a rowan or a dog rose, but from experience I think dog rose is slightly smaller than that seed, so I'm reckoning that's a rowan. So I'm just going to pop my seeds up now into this little tray. So I'm just very carefully putting the seeds in, one in each tray. Because these are already germinated, I'm almost 100% sure these will survive, so I'm actually going to put one in each section. I'm just going to try and make sure that they're facing upright so that they're going to be alright. I say normally I wouldn't like to plant plants which have already got such long roots, especially seedlings, but this is how they've already come. They've already been germinated previously. I think I've only got one more, so there we are. Make sure the root is pointing down. Now I can see one more seedling, so I'm going to have to put that up in another pot, so I'll just set that to the side for now. And there we are, the second one. If there's any seeds in here, they might not have germinated yet, I can't see them. So what I'm going to do with those seeds is I'm just going to pot them in, put any of this compost into the ground in these little sections, in case there's a seed hiding in there somewhere that I hadn't noticed, and at least that can germinate. And if I've got two seedlings growing in there, it's not an issue, I can just prick them out later on. So I'll just cover that up now. And I'll give that a watering. I'm going to leave it in a cool position, but away from frost, somewhere outside that's quite sunny, and hopefully they'll grow nicely. I'll try and do an update on these. I'm going to be away from this part of Scotland for a while, so it might be a few weeks or a month or so until I do an update. But that's it, and that's Woodland Trust seedlings potted up, and hopefully we'll have some nice trees. So as I say, what I'm expecting is what's on the sheet. So I should be getting hopefully some rowans, some dog rose, which isn't actually a tree. It's a rose that climbs up through the trees. Quite a large rose. Small flowers, but it grows very large stems. holly and also older buckthorn as well, which is quite a small tree, but no big trees, just small trees, but all really good for the environment because they've rowan and holly have got great berries for the wildlife. They've also got great flowers for wildlife, especially the rose, and the rose hips are also good for the wildlife as well. So there we are, that's the trees planted up, and as I say, I'll hopefully give you an update sometime soon.